So we're back with the one, the only Brock Brimmer, and I actually wanted to take a moment in here to dive into something I don't always dive, just straight into here, but I think there's something of value from Brock's experience that he can share some light on, which is the real estate brokerage in general. So Brock's someone who, you started with eXp Realty from the get-go, and you've seen a lot of success, literally becoming one of the top producing agents in the state, well into the top 1% over the first 4 years. I think you hit that within your first 2 or 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. But the thing is, I know you were approached from the get-go with a competitor in the cloud-based brokerage space, Real Brokerage. And I know you looked at them, you met with them early on, and subsequently I believe you've probably been approached by all the other companies that are putting their best foot forward at making a name for themselves in the cloud brokerage space. And despite there being more options than ever today for an agent that wants to join any brokerage, let alone a cloud-based brokerage potentially, you're still here, so given all the alternatives, why in the world do you opt to stay with eXp Realty when you got all these other companies out there vying for your attention and just, I'm sure they're willing to go out of their way to bring you on board if they possibly could. So with all these options, man, why the heck are you still with eXp Realty?
Well, thanks for the introduction, first of all. I appreciate you having me here. It's fun always making these videos and getting to meet with you in person here. So, I have been approached by other brokerages. I did interview with another cloud-based brokerage, Real, before decided to join with eXp Realty. But what's kept me with eXp is just the overall brokerage model. I know that's a very encompassing statement there, and there's so much details you can get into, but just the looking at some of the competitors out there, their splits and fees are, one of them is better, right? I will say that there's some cloud-based brokerages that have a better split, that you get to keep more of your commissions, but some of the other aspects are not as good in my opinion, right? With eXp Realty, we have a ton of training that happens every single week. We've probably got 50 plus hours, 80 plus hours of training every week that can happen. And so anything and everything I could ever want to learn about the business, I can go plug into on a regular basis and get into there. And some of the other brokerages, they're still smaller, so they don't have the amount of training available. They don't have the caliber of talent when it comes to the agents, sharing their knowledge out there. On board with them, and so it's really nice to be able to really learn from top producing agents in today's market from all over the country and even the world, since we're open in many countries as well. So just having up-to-date information that's just being shared with you from other folks is just great. Some of the franchises and local independent brokerages, of course, they have their top agents sharing their information, but it's only in their market, and they're not necessarily sharing their entire playbook. They're gatekeeping some of the information that they're sharing, and so the agents that are sharing all of their knowledge at eXp Realty, they're of course opening their entire playbook, because they may be on the East Coast and I'm here in San Antonio, so they're not my direct competition, and they're just opening their playbook to share whatever information they have. Outside of the training, I kind of touch on the compensation, but I truly believe that the compensation model we have as an entirety is the best one out there. There's some of competing brokerages out there that don't even have all of the avenues of income that we do with our brokerage, and then there's some that have very similar ones, but in my opinion, they're not at the same level. They're not at the same quality of income level or income abilities that we have with us here at eXp Realty.
So what I'm hearing is you see, and kind of looking and comparing and contrasting, you see more value in the more extensive network that eXp has by being more established as a company and having a lot broader of an agent base.
Yep.
And then, also as far as the training, you see more curriculum and information for someone who wants to learn and grow, probably, whether they're new or whether they're just trying to take their business to the next level from wherever they're at. And then you see a bigger financial opportunity, despite the fact that, there may be situations where on the surface, you might have a little bit better of a split or something of that nature. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not like just looking at the financial aspect, that like I said, there's some companies out there that have a better split, but when you look at all of their fees that they charge, like there's some of the franchises that are charging a 5 or 6% franchise fee, and that's just like money that you're losing out. It's going to the franchise owner, padding their pockets, whereas like I get to keep that extra 5 or 6%.
But what about the cloud-based companies? Even like, because cloud-based companies don't charge franchise fees, right? So like, I guess what would be the difference there that you're seeing?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, just like some of them have like better splits, like I said, right, and their caps are lower, but their ability to generate some passive income, those benefits, those opportunities aren't to the same level as ours. Like we have a much better way to build passive income. The company stock that we get awarded as agents just for doing normal things like selling a house, those within eXp, you're getting stock and intangible stuff. We have actual companies that we own that are open to the public that many people have been around. Like one of the biggest ones is Success Enterprises, right? We own Success as a company, and that magazine has been around for over 100 years. So it's a very stable portion of the company, and it's like these other brokerages, like they have company stock, but it's not on the NASDAQ. It's not on, they don't have a whole lot of company assets that are tangible, in my opinion.
Yeah, some it's not publicly traded, and there's an idea that it will be in the future. But if you're positioning yourself based on ideas versus that's something that hasn't happened yet versus something that you can look at. So I get what you're saying. And so that's kind of cool to hear that you've looked and you kind of see the playing field, you see what's out there, but like you're seeing the value, and like not even just seeing the value. I mean, there's a lot of people, they could say one thing or another about what they see or think, but like you're someone who's actually applying yourself at a high level and seeing a lot of results in your business. So you're speaking from a standpoint of not just someone looking at opportunities, but someone who's producing at a high level with this opportunity, and you probably would produce at a high level anywhere you took your business because you've got this client base that you're building up, right? So
yep, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I could take my business to another competing brokerage, but when I do the math, it just doesn't make sense for my business on a financial level to go operate anywhere else. Like I interviewed with a local brokerage about a year and a half ago. If I would have taken the same production over to their brokerage, I would have spent an extra $10,000 minimum, to do the same amount of business. So I'd be able to keep that, into my pocket now with, the model that we have here. But even so, like a lot of me building my business has been in part because of the opportunities we have at our brokerage, right? Like the ability for me to connect with agents across the country that may have clients moving to or from their market that need help here in my market. It's been nice to have those connections to help build my business because it made it that much easier to connect with clients and really launch the business.
That makes sense. And here's something that may be of value to you watching. I mean, if you've watched this far already, kind of on the note Brock just said, he interviewed with another brokerage. He ran the math, and he saw very clearly, hey, the math doesn't make sense to change anything here. I would take home less. And I'm actually really good at this part. And if it's something that I'm not good at, like I actually know who on our staff team actually is, like literally we have a full-time staff member who just does math all day, as crazy as that might sound, but she runs scenarios to help people understand what the difference is. And sometimes it's better, sometimes, it might not be better, but point is we can help you do the math. So if you're intrigued and curious, like, hey, get in touch. If you look in the description below, we'll give you a very easy way to do that. But I would say, hey, let's do the math. If you would really like to better understand exactly what it looks like, I can help take your current production, run it through our business model, and show you bottom line exactly what it would look like if you did your same production that you have done up to this point and ran it through our structure. Or if you prefer, we can take the production you intend on doing in the next year and run that through. We can run both if you want to see. And we'll show you, and we'll be very transparent with you. Is it better? Is it worse? I was talking with an agent the other day, and I flat out told him, like, hey, if all you want to do is 3 deals a year, you might be better off with a local independent that's just going to minimize your flat fee. Like I told him straight up, hey, we might not be for you if that's all you want to do, and that's okay. But if you're someone like Brock and like you want to do 3 deals in a month, I don't think Brock wants to do 3 in a month. I think he wants to do more than that. But
3 in a week would be ideal.
but if you're someone like that, that's where you look and you're seeing, okay, yeah, that's it's going to look different. Like we're a business model. eXp is a business model that is set up for someone who wants to do very well in this business. It's not for someone who just wants to scrape by and keep scraping by for all the time. It's not for someone who wants to dabble in real estate. That's not who we are. That's not who we're here to serve. There's other places that would better serve someone like that. We're here for people that want to do very well selling real estate for them and their families, and want to position themselves financially, not just in the near term, but in the long term, to actually be able to set their families up for financial success. So for someone who's of that mindset, that's who we were designed to help. And that's where, if that's the track you're on, it would probably be very interesting to see and compare and contrast what the numbers look like compared to your current situation, wherever that might be out there, whether it's with a cloud-based company, whether it's with a franchise or an independent. Even if you're with a 100% broker, I'll tell you, it'd be very interesting to run your numbers through our model and compare and contrast.
Absolutely. I've talked to some people who are at those other models with different compensation plans, and just like doing the math, like if you take their same production, it's amazing to see how people can get a pay raise with the same amount of production, not even having to increase it or anything like that. They can do exactly what they've been doing, and they're able to basically get a pay raise just by looking at our model and making that decision.
Absolutely. So with that, I think we'll leave it there. Brock, again, appreciate you coming back on to the channel. Where can people find and connect with you if they're interested in seeing what you're up to? What's the best platform to follow your real estate journey on?
Yeah, Instagram is going to be the best. So if you go look on Instagram, it's going to be at Brock_Bremer_Realtor. That's my tag on Instagram. That's the best way to connect with me and see what I'm doing on a daily basis. And yeah.
Awesome. So follow Brock, and then if you want to see what your numbers look like, reach out and connect. If you're okay with not knowing, then I guess don't connect. It is what it is. But regardless, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye, y'all.